And now on BBC One, some history with dispatches.
I love watching kids. Who doesn't? But I'm here at a school for a different reason because, like in most places, the stench of history is never far from the nostrils. In fact, it's nearly 500 miles away. Geneva, 1541, a city in what we call today Switzerland. It's a busy place, full of people and cats and stuff. And I'm off to meet a man who changed it forever. But who was he? Only John Calvin, the second most famous man to have started what we know today as Protestantism. But I want to delve further into this man and find out what's inside him, wriggle around a bit, get to know what's in there. I want to separate fact from fiction. I want to know why what happened happened, and why what didn't happen didn't happen, and what would have happened if what didn't happen did happen. Right. As ever, I've got my trusty time machine and a sat-nav course set for history. Beat that, Tony Robinson. Now, let's go back in time. It's 1541. Calvin is back in Geneva, but why did he leave? And why did he arrive in the first place, or even return once he left? I have many questions. Now I need to find the man who can answer them. I'm here with John Calvin. It took a while, but we managed to track him down. So John, you're a Christian, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So what do you look for in a woman?
Big bum.
So, Calvin, now that we've moved rooms to avoid the plague, it was 1536 that the city had already agreed to its own Protestant revolution. But I believe it was your task, along with Farrell's, to organise it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Geneva had a complex structure of government, and the actual power was in the hands of established families to make final decisions. It was the Little Council, made up of 24 members, and the syndics who ran most of the city. Isn't that right, Calvin?
Yes.
It was actually the syndics in 1538 who opposed you, wasn't it? And they didn't back down, did they, in their opposition?
No.
No, they didn't. And it was this struggle for power between the church and the civil power that ended up ordering you to leave.
Yeah.
Well, you accepted the invitation by Martin Bucer.
Bruce.
Yes. Anyway, you went to Strasbourg and became a pastor, didn't you? So, Calvin, what drove you to return back to Geneva in 1541? Okay. It was a little council that ended up being your saviour, wasn't it?
Yes.
Now, that was because they accepted many of your proposals and put in to law by the ecclesiastical ordinances of 1541. In fact, you wouldn't have succeeded at all, would you, without a backing of the majority of the little council? And it took you until 1555 to actually, until you were almost completely unchallenged, Isn't that right?
Yes. Intruder!
So Calvin, thanks for talking to me today. Well, we lost Calvin, but we found, he calls himself a historian, but I'll believe him when I say it. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Anyway, but that was fascinating stuff, and goes to show how travelling back in time makes for better television than pretending to know what you're talking about. And here's a man who says he knows what he's talking about. Diarmaid McCulloch, welcome.
Good to see
Welcome.
you, kid.
That's a nice firm handshake. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well, yes, as I was saying, as you were saying, I don't pretend to know everything. I do know everything.
Oh, that's
Yes.
good.
I think where we could start off with is if you could appreciate having a good night out in the company of Martin Luther. The same could not be said for the buttoned-up Frenchman,
John Calvin.
John Calvin, who wanted to stop the citizens of Geneva dancing. Calvin was in delicate health from his youth and did not enjoy good cheer. His only recorded light-hearted activity was going to brothels. I don't know what it says.
We here at Dispatches, The Truth About Mr. C, would like to apologise for a lack of professionality and just doing something that was very naughty. What we did was wrong, and it won't happen again. So, Diarmaid, please continue. Bless you.
He did not enjoy good cheer. He did, however, enjoy getting his own way, which he identified with doing the will of God. Yeah, man.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, Time Machine. So, that's the end of the show. And what have we learnt? Well, we've learnt about history and facts and stuff. And what have you learnt? Well, you've learnt a lot, like history and facts and stuff. But what have I learnt? Well, nothing, because I knew it already. Anyway, I'll see you next time. What we said was wrong and unprofessional, and it won't happen again. Anyway, so, Diamond, continue. Diarmaid, sorry. Do you want to do that again?
No.
Well, now we've got to... I'm here with John Calvin. I managed to find him. It took a while, but I succeeded. So Calvin,
You could have told me you would have grabbed him.
now Geneva had a complex.
You can't even see that.
Shall I keep filming and you'll edit it?
But
Why is this bit funny?
She's putting his hand on my leg.
the Little Council agreed that it would change up the structural organisation of the Genevan Church. Isn't that correct, Calvin?
This is what he's doing.
No.
His hand on my leg again.